Hello, good evening, my people. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Another special edition of the Jagbajantis show. I remain your regular host, Akin, and I especially welcome you from every part of the world where you're listening to me from. I greet you by the time of the day you are in, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, or night. So it's evening here. So to my UK listeners, I say good evening. And to everyone that shares the same time zone with us, it's going to be another interesting discussion tonight. And so I would want you to help me share this show on your platforms. Invite as many people you can invite, and and get ready to um, to hear the truth. You know how we do it on this platform. We spit hard and raw truth. It's for no other reason but to help us become a better version of ourselves. I greet those who are listening to me on Twitter, people on Facebook, the silent listeners on Facebook. I greet you also, and people on YouTube. I salute you especially. And for those who will be um, catching up with the recorded version of the show later on, I greet you all as well. Thank you very much for always turning up to listen to my nonsense. Right. Let me say hello to people that have indicated their presence on the show so far. If you are there, just say hi and let me give you a shout out. And if you prefer to just remain anonymous and not say anything, yeah, that's fine. It's all well and good. But there are people on the show already who have indicated their presence. Let me say hello to them before we proceed. Um, Let me see who and who are here. I greet you, sir. Mickey Akins. Good evening, sir. Thank you for connecting tonight. It's been a while, but it's always a pleasure to have you back on the show. Àwa nìyẹn o, àkú àná. Ṣé gbogbo ẹ̀ ta yẹ́rìyẹ́rì ni? Àná wọn ojú wọn bó. Thank you very much. Mo kí yín ìyá mi, Erelu. Ẹ̀kalẹ́ ṣàwà dáadáa o. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Um, I hope it's going to be another heavy and busy um, comment section tonight with you on the show. So let's keep it rolling. Um, Mr. Mickey Akins, you said good afternoon from there. So where are you? I want to um, guess that you are in the US. Am I correct? Yes, I think that should be um, where you are, because that should be the only place that'll be in the afternoon at this time. Well, not the only place, but oh, Canada. Okay, Canada, US. Okay. Um, my guess isn't that wild, so it's still very close. Right. Thank you for joining. Um, I can see a Guna here. On Larry Waju J Joseph. I greet you, sir. Up Gunas. Thank you for connecting as well tonight. It's going to be a pleasant night. Thank you very much. Um, well, I'll keep an eye on the comment section, and as people turn up, I will, from time to time, just salute them. Yeah, I think that is all we have so far tonight. Unfortunately, the regulars that always um, fight for the first position are not here tonight. The two regular people, my sister Ebon and Egbon Shegun, um, Egbon Godwin, both of them are not here tonight. I know they're busy, and hopefully they can still join the show. Otherwise, they will catch up with the repeat later. But we miss them anyway. We miss them. Ẹ jẹ́ ká humble o. Ẹ má tí ì jẹ́ ká máa pariwo ju àwọn ọ̀tá pọ̀ o. But I think we should be able to at least this time around beat or draw with Liverpool. You know, it's been a long time coming, and I hope this time around we can overcome our normal brain freeze, especially when we meet the top six clubs. We just go into that, you know, brain freeze moment. So I hope this time around we can shake that off because we're in a good run of form, and you know things are not really that great with Liverpool at the moment. But you know it's just a game, so it's whoever turns up on the day that will get the maximum points. So I hope we can turn up and not let it slip like we did against Man United, the Cooperative Society Club. Anyway, um, let's get straight into what we have for tonight. I value time, and I don't take everyone that come on this platform for granted, for giving up an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours of your time to be on this show here. So I want to ensure that I return value for that time you're giving up. So I don't get distracted too much with things that are not relevant to the show. Um, so that's why once we go live after the usual pleasantries, we just get straight into the topic for the night so that um, you can get value for the time you're giving up, and then I can release you to go and do other things, go to bed, or um, as you wish to get into other events you have for the day. So it's the same thing we'll do tonight. We'll get straight into it, and hopefully we can cover as much as time permits us. So the topic I have for tonight is what I titled Poverty Cycle. And for some reason, since I did the topic titled Breaking Cycles, Cycle Breakers, I think it's now somehow becoming a series where I think I have to touch on those things that we have to break, you know, after I have, made you realize that, look, things can't just continue the same way generations after generations. Somebody has to stand up within that generation to say, you know what, I'm putting a stop to this nonsense. It can't continue. So if nobody stands up, before you know it, it's going to the 10th generation. Oniran mẹ́ta kì í tòṣì. Oniran ogún lè tòṣì. If nobody within that lineage stands up to say, I'm putting a stop to it, that this thing stops right here, it will keep rolling. And So I moved a step further to say, you know what, these are some of the things that I think we have to break when we're talking of cycle that should not continue. And last week, excuse me, we talked about, we looked at parentification, and I think it was a very emotional moment. It's one of the shows where I had um, the comment section so busy and so detailed in terms of contributions from people. So we will be looking at another um, thing tonight that needs to be changed, which is that needs to be broken. Another cycle that we need to break tonight, which is the cycle of poverty. And in looking at this, we will have to maybe build um, a background to take you back into how many of us are involved in this, just like we did last week. Paint the scenario and find yourself in the midst of it, or find people around you that you can relate to, so that you have like a feel of what we're talking about. And then um, we will look at the various types of poverty, because many don't even know that there are types of poverty. Um, then we will look at the common reasons that causes poverty. There are some mechanisms that are still in operation, and when those things exist, you will be poor. Ekpeko, you will be poor. So those are the things we're going to look at, and then I hope at the end of the show you will be provoked enough to do something, because nothing just happens. You have to do something. And the purpose of this platform, as I keep repeating it, is that I don't have the power to change you. I don't have the power to change anyone. That is beyond the limit of my competence. But what I know I can do, or I can try to achieve, is to influence you on that path of change. Is to change your perspective, the way you've been looking at things, to make you look at it differently, and provoke you enough to want to change something, to not accept the status quo. That is the purpose of this show. We don't lie here. We say things the way they are. It might hurt. I might be harsh with some of the things I say. I might swear. I might be raw with certain things. But that's this show. So if you are the type that is, very sensitive, well, I think you're in the wrong platform. And if you are the type that is very dogmatic, the way you've known things for donkey years is still the same way you want to know those things. You don't want to listen to different opinions. You like hearing yourself back all the time. You don't want to hear something different. Then this platform is not for you. But if you're open-minded, you're open to change, you want different results, you want to do things differently, you are not afraid to let your mind do what your mind was created to do, which is to think, then you are in the right platform. You are in the right place. And you will benefit a lot in what we talk about. Right. Let's start. Poverty. Not many of us were born into um, affluent families. Not many of us were given great education, like sent to private schools or top schools. Not many of us were introduced to settings or circles that could you know give us leverage, or that we could leverage on um, to rise quickly in our careers. And as they call it, uh, many of us were not born with silver spoons in our mouth. In fact, many of us didn't even eat with spoons. But that or those things are not enough excuses why you should remain poor. I'm not discounting the contribution of those things to why poverty exists in generations to generations. But I'm saying they are not enough excuses for you to give why you are poor. The family you were born into, whether they are poor, wretched, or they are rich, it's not your own choosing. The country you were born into, whether the government are mad, whether the government are, responsible, whether it's a land flowing with milk and honey, or is a land that is, lacking resources, it's not your choosing. Whether the day of your naming wọn pe léré wọn ti ẹ̀ kọrin gbogbo ẹ̀ kàn quiet ni wọn ti ẹ̀ fáwọn èèyàn ló ń jẹ gan, it's not your choosing. But you see, what you end up becoming in life is entirely up to you. Your background is not enough to determine how you will end up. What you will end up is entirely in your own hands. How you approach life. So you have families where, the parents are poor, give birth to children, couldn't afford great education for them. Just like we said last week, maybe the elderly ones were told to drop out of school so that they can help with the family, to start supporting the family with income and stuff like that. So from there, they were not well educated. They don't even have much skills to survive on. They've been doing menial jobs. And then they get to certain age, as is common in our community, or in our in our circle, where they judge people by their biological clock and say, oh, oti 30 by, oti 35 by, oh yeah, marry and stuff like that. Not considering whether they are financially capable of setting up homes. They just look at their biological clock and use that to judge the next stage of their life. So they too, within that cycle of poverty, get married. The person they got married to is also a struggling person, because after all, you can't go and marry. If you even attempt to marry from a rich home, they look at you like you are a gold digger, and they don't want to have anything to do with you, because within the circle of the rich, what they do is they marry off their children just to keep the money going within their cycle, just to keep the business alive, to keep the relationship alive, and everything like that. So they try to keep everything within themselves. That's why they don't go and pick a mortality, because kò sáǹfààní kankan tó fẹ́ ṣe fún wọn. Nuisance ló máa padà dà. Wọ́n á kàn tó máa gbé bùkátà tí ó yẹ kán máa gbé. So eventually you marry within your own, setting. You marry another poor man, or you marry another poor lady, and the next thing, the family you've married from start depending on you for survival as well. And then tún bímọ, and then àwọn ọmọ yín náà ò ní rí ìtọ́jú bó ṣe yẹ kí wọ́n rí, and then the next thing, it keep repeating itself from there. Ọmọ yẹn rìn gbèrègbèrè, carpenter kan kì í mọ́lẹ̀, ó fún lóyún lábẹ́ shed, òun náà gbóyún wálé, pastor kan sọ fún yín pé kẹ́ má ṣẹ́yún yẹn ọmọ ológo ni o, and before you know it láti 13 years òun náà ti gbé oyún. Ó bí ọmọ ológo yẹn gan kò rógo lò because gbogbo nǹkan kan tiẹ̀ dojúrú. Ó ti dìran mẹ́ta tí mo describe ẹ̀ yẹn. It's a vicious cycle. So poverty in itself is the absence of resources, absence of basic resources, absence of resources to cover your basic needs. So when you struggle to cover your basics, you are poor. You are poor. So some people think because they don't have a Mercedes, they don't live in a highbrow area of the neighborhood, they don't you know, wear certain kind of clothes and designers and things like that, then they consider themselves poor. No, those things are luxuries, and they are not things that impact your life in any way if you don't have them. You can still survive with or without them. There are public transport if you don't have a car, so you can still get about. You don't have to own a house, you can rent. The most important thing is you have a roof over your head. You don't necessarily have to wear clothes that, labels, because it's the same fabric, and the most important thing is that you have a covering on your back. You don't have to eat from certain posh restaurants, because the same rice they serve there is the same rice they serve in another place. So being unable to afford luxurious lifestyle does not mean you are poor. Or being unable to cover your basics in life, feeding, clothing, accommodation, when you struggle with those things, you are poor. And if we don't carefully consider the mechanisms that are being reinforced from generation to generation that holds this cycle, we will be unable to break them. And then Oshinyawa Maran, láti ìrandíran, it will be going from one generation to the other. As long as we reinforce this element that keeps this poverty alive, then it will go from generation to generation. So if we want to stop it, we must know these things that reinforces the poverty, that keeps it alive. And these are the things we have to kill. Remember, what you feed survives, and what you starve dies. So as long as you keep feeding this element that sustains poverty, it will stay alive generations to generation. So majority of the things you will hear tonight are things you must teach your children. And when I say you must teach your children, that means you must first of all know them. Because like I mentioned sometime on the show or last week, children learn by watching, not necessarily what to say to them. And that's what parents should be more concerned about. Some parents will say, that's not an issue. Be concerned that these children are watching you. So they will pattern their lives after you. Your fear becomes their fear. Your decision becomes their decision because they see you as a model. So if you want to break the cycle of poverty, you must live it. It is through living it that they will learn and it will not repeat itself in their own generation. So when I say these things you must teach your children, that means you must first of all learn it, be able to live it. And it is through living it that they will learn from you. Because that is how children learn. They learn by patterning, they learn by watching. What they see is what they believe. So, learning these things, understanding these things, living it would mean there are certain things you would have to change yourself if you are not already doing them. Some of the things I'll say tonight might not mean anything to some people because yes, they understand it and they're okay, fine. But people who are struggling and who sees that yes, kini she by me inside the bee, then you have to be open-minded and be ready to do whatever it will take for you to make adjustment where necessary. The most important thing is that àwọn ọmọ yín ò tún gbọdọ̀ gbé ayé bẹ́yìn ṣe gbé. Wọn ò tún gbọdọ̀ lò ayé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe lò. So be that cycle breaker of your generation. Be the one to say, I put my life online, that this thing will not repeat itself in my generation. I'll do whatever it takes to put a stop to it. And that's why we're looking at this. So quickly, let's run through the various types of poverty that exist. Like I always say, anything I discuss here is not absolute. There could be more to it. So I'm only sharing my own perspective. And that's why the comment section is open for anyone to, put in their own contribution. So if there's anything that, I must have missed out, please feel free to add it. You are helping out. I'll keep my eye on the comment section and, pin up interesting comments that I'll find beneficial to everyone on the platform. Let me quickly check before I go. Erelu says change, the most dynamic concept. There has to be a change. Someone has to be the change agent. Benny, And she also says, if someone doesn't break away from the norm, yes, that and that's the fact. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mo kí yín o. Ṣé wà dáadáa? Mo ti bèrè yín earlier. I mean, I know you are very busy, but I told the house that you'll be joining at some point. Great to have you on the show. Thank you, sir. Mr. Amiki says most difficult cycle to break is poverty. Yes, it's tough, but it's possible. The moment we can deal with those mechanisms that we keep reinforcing, it's possible to break it. The moment we are very intentional with our choices and lifestyle and life decisions, it's possible to break. The moment we take responsibility back, which is what I always emphasize on this platform. This platform aim to give back control of your life to you. For those who have handed it over to religion, handed it over to individuals, people in their family or whatever thing like that. The aim and purpose of this show is to give control back to you. It's your life. You have to run it. You have to design it. You have to build it the way you want. And you have the power, you have the ability, you have the capacity, only that you don't realize it. So this show aim to awaken you back to the power, the ability, the strength that you have, that are dormant inside of you. It aimed, to push those things out, to ensure that you can change your life. You can't change your life. So it's difficult to agree with you, but it is possible. And your background, your country you come from, no matter the excuse you want to give, they are not sufficient, because those things are not your choosing. So you shouldn't dwell on those excuses and make yourself feel good that, yeah, that's why I'm poor. No, you have to look within and see what you carry, see what you have, see what you can tap into to break yourself out. Um, Erelu says, Omobere Oshibere, one very major cause of generational poverty. Ben, you know, is that social construct, is that cultural construct, is that poor mindset that forces people into it. Ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ náà ni, nígbà táwa náà kú ṣe yàrá kan la wà. Ẹ̀yin náà ẹ lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ńbẹ̀ yẹn, tó bá yá ẹ máa lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣé tàn dáadáa nìyẹn ni? Ẹ̀yin lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní yàrá kan, should they also start from yàrá kan? Why don't you let the story change with them and live life differently? Kí àbò àṣìṣe tẹ́yìn ṣe yẹn, káwọn lè correct ẹ̀. Must they repeat the same mistakes? I'm not opposed to people making mistakes, because we can't be perfect in life. But I'm not a fan of people repeating same mistakes. It shows you're not learning. I want people to make new mistakes, because the more mistakes you make, the wiser you become. So make new mistakes every time. Mistakes are not things you should be sad about. They are not things you should be ashamed of. They are things that just shows you or points to you that, yes, you don't do things like that. Every failure, every mistake just shows you that, okay, that is not how to do something. And once you learn from it, you won't repeat it. But many don't learn. They look for who to blame. They feel sorry for themselves. They will find people who, join the pity party and wọ́n tún máa ṣe anniversary fún òṣì tó bá wọn last year. Wọ́n á tún ṣe lọ́dún yìí. Wọ́n máa pè 7 years tí kìnìún kan báyìí ṣe ẹ̀. Wọ́n á máa ṣe anniversary fún, wọ́n á máa gé cake, wọ́n á máa ya photo fún òṣì. When all they need to do is just to learn from it and move on with their life. Go on with the experience, not the bitterness, so that they don't repeat the same thing. Erelu says psychological poverty is worse than physical poverty. When a man is poor in his mind, he may live all his life in penury. Kò sí irọ́ ńbẹ̀. Kò sí irọ́ ńbẹ̀. Because everything starts from the mind. So we will get to it. But you've mentioned one of those important points that I have here. Evangelist Taiwo Batunsi, I greet you, sir. Good evening. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Right, Mr. Mickey finally agrees with me that yes, it is possible to break poverty. And okay, I'll get to it shortly. Because when we're talking about the possibility of breaking poverty, we see all kind of nonsense out today. Àwọn tó ń ṣe yahoo náà láwọn fẹ́ break poverty ni. But that is not the right way to go. Àwọn dáàdi wọn in the 90s tó ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo òdù àti gbogbo àwọn 419 àti gbogbo kìíní, poverty náà làwọn náà fẹ́ break. Àwọn tó bìrè, this is the effect we are feeling over 30 years after. Now, yahoo tó fẹ́ break poverty, olóṣó tó fẹ́ break poverty. Olóṣó tó lóyún fọ́mọ yahoo, ibikúbi ló máa bí o. So in the next 30 years, kò tí ì lè sálàáfíà pẹ̀lú nǹkan tèmi ò rí lẹ́ni o. Because this is how I forecast. Effect of the 90s of people trying to break poverty. òun la rí lẹ́nu. Fraud, get rich schemes are not the means to break poverty. Ìgbàlódé Ramon, òun náà lòun fẹ́ break poverty ni. But when you see the way these people live their life after they've gotten that money, then you will know that it is not poverty that is their problem. It's lust, it's greed, it's avariciousness. That is their problem. It's not poverty. Because after they've committed this fraud and gotten the money, when you look at how this money is being spent, wàá rí wípé poverty kọ́ ni issue and people. They just want to live extravagant life, which is why many of them goes back into penury. Kan tó máa ń gbẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ nìyẹn. And that's why I wrote something few years ago that many are online but few are online. They are smart but not intelligent people. They're smart. They could con you out of your money, out of your life savings. But then they quickly, out of their own foolishness and lack of intelligence, return this money back to where it has come from with the way they've spent it. And in the end, go dúró sí wọn lọ́wọ́, so they have to repeat the fraud again. Wọ́n máa fi ṣé bí ẹ̀mẹ́ta ẹ̀ńtẹ́ ń gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ti gbọ́n, wọ́n á kì í mọ́lẹ̀, wọ́n á ní kẹ́ lọ ṣe 20 years nílé. By the time tó bá jáde, ayé ti kọjá ẹ̀. At the end of the day, wàá rí pé ó dolòṣì gbẹ̀yìn ni. Ìgbà ti lọ, wàá padà sí square one. Square one tó ń sá fún yẹn náà ló máa padà sí. Ìgbàlódé Ramon, Jẹrẹsì Gúúsì, handcuff Gúúsì náà ni wọ́n fi mú lọ. Wọn tí ì ṣèdájọ́, ó ti lò 2 years láti mọ́lé already. And by the time tó máa sentence ẹ̀ sí, we're looking nothing less than 11 or 15 years. But kó tó ṣe yẹn gan, these people are wise, they are clever. Wọ́n prolong ẹjọ́ yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ló náwó lawyer and everything like that. In tó lóun kó pamọ́ gan, wọ́n á ti bá ná, wọ́n á ti fẹ́ ná tán. Because those lawyers are not cheap. And by the time tó bá tún ṣèdájọ́ ẹ̀ pé kó dá kó ṣe restitution and everything like that, he might be left with nothing. Á padà sí square one. So, I mean, that's it's not a digression, but it's ideal I mention it so that you know that why there are means of escaping poverty, certain things are not the right way to go about it. So, but you see these excuses today. Yeah, ẹ̀wọ̀n tó yìnbó ti kó lọ lọ́wọ́ bàbá ńlá bàbá ńlá lọ́ ń gbà padà. Wàrà àwọn òbí mi gan tó máa ń pè Bùsáyọ̀, ìyà ò kí ń jọ lọ́mù. O lè dirú nǹkan báyìí sáyà kébí ṣe máa pa ẹ́ láyé kó sì wà nínú ilé mi. Jáde kó lọ ṣe nǹkan táwọn ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀ ń ṣe. And they push Bùsáyọ̀ out. Náà lọ máa fọmú gbárí ń tà. Ó ti gbàgbé wípé wealth is not sexually transmitted. There is a limit, but there is a level you can slip your way up to. The only thing to guarantee only STD, disease ló guarantee, no wealth. N tó máa gbà ò lè là ẹ́, ṣùgbọ́n tó ń sọnù pọ̀. So I just have to mention that because It's that excuse is very prevalent in our society, and we've told that excuse over and over again that it's almost becoming acceptable truth in some quarters. But yeah, if you want to ìlú ò ṣáà dá gbogbo ẹ̀ ò ṣe àwọn náà dẹ̀ fẹ́ break out of poverty. Okay, ló ṣe ń ṣe yahoo. Okay, ló ṣe ń ṣolóṣó. Okay, the consequence ẹ̀ bá dẹ̀ dé, then you will know that it's not the right way to go in the end. But by that time, at late, at late. Right. So let's quickly look at the various type of poverty that exist. So number one is situational poverty. Um, this is one that happens based on certain bad events in your life. So for example, anything contain lọ dáadáa fún tẹ́lẹ̀ ó wá lose iṣẹ́ ẹ̀. Ìgbà tí ó ṣiṣẹ́ mọ́ obviously kò sí income mọ́, to cover the basic bills everything máa nira, wọn lè sanwó ilé, wọn lè jẹun, wọn lè rán ọmọ school, gbogbo nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. So ẹlòmíì might be because of health, suddenly wọ́n sick, wọn lè lọ bí iṣẹ́ mọ́, wọn lè move about and stuff like that. Ẹlòmíì could be because of divorce, family had to separate, èèyàn kan ní gbogbo kìíní ẹ̀ tó rest lé lórí tẹ́lẹ̀ nígbà tẹ́ni ẹ̀ dẹ̀ ti tọ́ ti pínyà. The other person that is not really earning much will begin to struggle, and to make ends meet will be an issue. So there are families, there are people who whose poverty are due to tragic events in their lives. Also there could be economic instability. For example, Ewurubata ní COVID yẹn sìn, people couldn't work. Some people had to be forlorn. A lot of things happened that affected economic survival of people. So situations or poverty that arises through that is situational. So another one is generational poverty, and this is especially what we're talking about today, where more than two generations are experiencing the same pattern of poverty. Bí bàbá ṣe lo ayé, bàbá náà ti lò, ọmọ náà ti ń lò. We grew up in poverty. The thought process, the way of life, the mechanisms, the way of doing things that kept your parents in poverty, you're repeating them. You're bringing up your own generation also within that pattern. This is the same thing you will pass on to your children, because that is what they see, that is what they know, that is what will become their reality, and that is what they will live. So, and this is when it becomes a cycle, because they will pass it on as well, and then pass it on as well, and on and on and on and on. So another poverty is absolute poverty. This is more of what countries experience, where there are shortages of resources for people to survive on. When the country is broke, like what Nigeria is experiencing at the moment. What is jẹgbárun? àtàkáǹtì ilé àti foreign gbogbo ẹ̀ ti tán, and they are now borrowing to pay loans. So wọ́n fi gbèsè san gbèsè. So when a loan is due to be repaid, you borrow to pay that, and then that one too will be due. You borrow another one to pay that. So no healthcare system, no accommodation. I mean, when the country is just broken, then you have that sort of poverty, absolute poverty. We also have relative poverty, and this is one where you know people are just barely surviving. So iye tó ń pa náà ni wọ́n ń ná, ìgbà míì gan kò ní kà. So that Coca-Cola kind of survival strategy, ìyẹn relative. Wọ́n sì ń róúnjẹ jẹ o, ṣùgbọ́n ipá ni, ọjọ́ mi kò ní yọ, ọjọ́ mi á yọ. And then we have urban poverty. This is where people just want to live in the city. Irú nǹkan tó ń experience lÉkòó yẹn. Aláwọn gbé Lẹ́kì, ṣùgbọ́n 25 ló ń sun yàrá kan. But they just want to say, Lekki babe, Lekki babe. And you see how they dress, how they, wear bone straight, lẹ́rùn ojú, lẹ́ẹ̀kanná, everything. You see them moving about. But tó bá dalẹ́ lọ wò bọ́n ṣe ń sùn. But they just want to carry that postcode tag. Lekki ló ń gbé, Island ló wà. But the condition of living is terrible. There are not enough resources to go around everyone there, even though they are in a city. And lastly, you have rural poverty. This is one where people experience in villages where there are no social amenities, so bad roads, they lack water, they don't have electricity, they don't have internet. So ó jẹ́ àwọn various types of poverty tó wà, but ìta focus lé lórí lálẹ́ is the generational poverty, and this is one that will keep going. Is a vicious circle that will keep repeating itself as long as we maintain and feed the mechanisms that sustains this type of poverty. So, what are some of these mechanisms? What are these common reasons? What are these common mistakes? What are these common elements that causes or sustain poverty? So, I've mentioned from the start that yes, many people don't have, didn't come out from a good background. They had it very rough from the start. So their parents couldn't send them to school. In fact, they started supporting the family from early. They became parents early enough. They were parentified because of the abject poverty in the home. So they had to drop out of school, start menial jobs so that they can help bring some money in to sustain the family. So lack of education or skill will make you poor. because regardless of any religion you support, there's not one religion that supports that you can just be successful without doing anything. Yeah, of course. The Nigerian version of Christianity might support this and say grace and say you will reap from where you didn't sow and say angels will deposit money in your account and all kind of nonsense like that. But in the Yoruba traditional belief that I come from, it says Oba Àbọ̀ṣàngó kó bọ Ọbàtálá, òòṣà tí ń gbọ̀lẹ ò sí, ẹni bá ṣiṣẹ́ ajé ní rájé jẹun. Kó dẹ̀ tó lè ṣiṣẹ́ ajé, á ṣáà ní nǹkan tó mọ̀ ọ́n ṣe. Either you're educated or you learn some skills. And in an environment where education counts, people who are well educated rise quickly and reach the peak of their careers. Àwọn ìlú míì wà, ó lè ka tiwájú tẹ̀yìn ìwé. The environment does not reward people of intellect. So, but that doesn't mean you don't have to play your part. So because after all, tá bá kàwé tán náà àkúkú ní ríṣẹ́, ọmọ èmi ò lọ school mọ́ jàre, ó lọ ra làpì. Okay, time is coming where gbogbo iṣẹ́ yẹn gan ò ní já mọ́. Ó dẹ̀ mọ nǹkan míì ṣe lẹ́yìn yahoo. Iṣẹ́ máa ba ayé ẹ jẹ́. So you must learn some skills. You must be educated. Education, it's not only limited to classroom learning. It's not only when you sit down in the four walls of university that you can be educated. We have great businessmen today, the Eleganza, Okoya, and the rest of them that never went to school, but wọ́n kàn tó jùwé lọ. And they are able to employ people who are well-read to manage their businesses. So you must train yourself to give yourself an advantage, especially in this environment where I reside. They care about what can you do. It's what you can do that will feed you. What can you do? And that's why they've provided opportunities for everyone. Choose what you want to do. So you have some children after finishing secondary school, they just go straight into technical colleges to go and learn plumbing, electrical, building, and stuff like that. They graduate after 3 or 4 years. I don't know how long the trainings are. They set up their own business. They get grant from the government, and they go. They become their own boss from 21 years old. Ìwọ́n ràn mọ́ orí kiri ilé ayé, ó mọ̀ pé ìkànnà ló sì fẹ́ ṣe, ó kọ́kọ́ lọ ṣe law. Ó kọ́kọ́ jẹ́ kán tì ẹ́ lọ ṣe law. Àti wá parí law tán, ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ta wig. You have to be intentional about life. Bí wọ́n pé makeup ló fẹ́ kọ́ makeup yẹn dé level tó jẹ́ wípé tó bá fẹ́ gbé èèyàn travailler from one country to another, tó dẹ̀ fẹ́ jẹ́ kán mọ̀ pé ni ẹ lọ́ fẹ́ gbé, they will call you pé má bọ̀, we need you in Switzerland, all cheap, everything paid, come and make this person look like this. level tó ti gbọ́dọ̀ máa ṣe makeup ẹ ni. Kì í ṣe kó ṣe makeup sójú ìyàwó lọ́jọ́ wedding kọ́kọ́ dé kó máa ní àdìá òun dà kọ́ lòun náà ní kó ní ẹni tóun fẹ́ kọ́ lélẹ̀. Kó ṣe makeup sójú ìyàwó tán kí photographer gbé wedding picture wọn wá ńgbà tán bá parí. Wọ́n sọ fún pé irọ́ album alábọ́ọ̀mù lẹ gbé wá àwọn kọ́ rèé o. Irú yẹn kọ́. Anything you learn, you must learn it well. You must be the best at anything you do, because that is what will give you the advantage to be successful in life. Don't forget, gbogbo wa ń struggle fún the same thing láyé yìí ni. Gbogbo wa ń struggle for the limited resources ni. So you have to give yourself some advantage to stand out. And that's why when people wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe contract they ask people to come and bid. And tó máa padà gbé fún is not only the person whose price is cheap, it's the person that is able to distinct themselves. Not necessarily you are the cheapest, but going by what you submitted, your track record, what you've done and things like that, wọ́n rí pé no, eléyìí ò ní ba ṣẹ́ yẹn jẹ́, eléyìí ń ká gbé fún. So lack of education, wọn kọ́ wọ̀ lọ school then ìgbà tí wọn náà tún sáré lọ marry náà ó jẹ́ kán tiẹ̀ ó tún marry ìgbà tí wọn náà tún bímọ náà inú poverty yẹn lẹ́wà ó tiẹ̀ tiraka ò ṣe anything láti ẹ̀ ti fún àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ ní good opportunity in life and everything like that. So at the end of the day ó ti ń ràn. Wọ́n tẹ̀lé lọ school náà ṣé wọ́n kọ́ nǹkan kan kán fi lè rí ọwọ́ mú lọ sẹ́nu. So lack of education, lack of skills will make you poor. So you want to break the cycle of poverty? You must do something about this. Another point is spending time and money on foolishness. You will be poor. Now, I keep saying it. Life no balance, I agree. Ọlọ́run pín dọ́gba, I agree. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan kan wà tó pín dọ́gba, and that is time. 24 hours was given to everyone equally. It's entirely up to you what you make those hours count for and deliver back to you. That's what will determine whether you'll be poor or you'll be successful. When people think they are employed or they work, no. You're not working, you're not employed, you're selling your time. Because somebody sat down and thought, you know what, I want to do this, but kò sí time. Then they will now look for somebody who has the skills that they require to execute those things. They will now buy from your own 24 hours and say, I'll pay you this to come and do this for me within this and that. They need your skill. They need your time. But you can't sell people's time independent of the owner of that time. So wọ́n láti ra ẹni tó ní àsìkò náà mọ́. And that's why you will be the one to use that time to do what they want to do. So 8 to 6 of your time that you think you've gone to work has been paid for. So you have to clock in at this time and clock out at this time. And they can use you for whatever they want within that time to achieve their own aim. So before you know it, 24 hours here, and yet you need more than 24 hours. So when you are being slothful, you will be hearing statements like, come on, don't waste my time. Yes, it's their time, it's no longer your time. But the question is this: what value do you give to that time? How much are you selling that time? So some people have sold their time cheaply doing nonsense jobs. Kọ́ ṣàlè láwọn náà ń jáde wọ́n ń lọ ṣiṣẹ́. But iṣẹ́ yẹn ò deliver value fún wọn. Iṣẹ́ yẹn ò ká kán fi ọwọ́ mú kán mú ọwọ́ lọ sẹ́nu. So why are you still doing that job? Wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe ń lọ ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn tó ń devote time wọn sí and everything ni kò fún wọn ní that head space, kò fún wọn ní that energy to be able to sit down and think of something else to do, because they are occupied in their mind, they are occupied physically, they can't think of something else. They lack the willpower, they lack the energy, they lack the drive to do something different. So wọ́n á jókòó sí di iṣẹ́ òṣì yẹn, iṣẹ́ tí ò deliver value padà fún wọn, ó dẹ̀ ń gba àsìkò wọn. There is a point you will say, you know what, enough. Wọ́n lólówó tá a bá rìn téèyàn ò yó, tá a bá bá rìn mọ́ ebi ò lè pààyàn. Òrìṣà bó lè gbè mí, ṣe mí bó ṣe bá mi. There are times you know what, put the situation back and say, you know what, no. After all, nǹkan tí mò ń pa ń bẹ̀ gan tiẹ̀ kò là mí, kò ká mi, kò ṣe anything. No. Enough. I need to clear my head. I need the space. I need to build energy to be able to think of something else to do. I need to get back my time and now reapportion it to what delivers value to me. Some people's time are delivering money, but they spend this money on foolishness, buying things that they don't need to impress people that don't care about them, spending beyond their means. You will be poor. You will be poor. Doing unprofitable jobs that take the whole of your time. Spending your resources, your money on foolishness, on things that does not deliver value back to you, will make you poor. So unless you are making a decent amount of money that you can sustain yourself with, unless you really, 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 really love those things, that job you're doing, you enjoy it, you get fulfillment from doing it, then in many cases, it's simply not worth it. Just stop it because it's not paying you. Just sit down, look at how much stress, look at how much time you put into it, look at how much life it sucks out of you, and create another life for yourself. You need a good headspace, you need energy to be able to think of something else to do, because there's always something better. But because you're not looking, you're so neck deep in this, you're so sucked up in you're so overwhelmed with bills and things that you have to do, that you just keep punishing yourself, keep pushing yourself, doing the same thing all over again and expecting different results. Some will be taking their money and be sowing it wọ́n sọ lọ́run di roulette, sọ lọ́run di kàlòkàlò. You sold 2 million, God give you back 20 million. Ẹ ṣí èrè ni. Money is man-made. Ọlọ́run kì í náwó náà. Nǹkan ló dá owó, èèyàn ló dá owó. So if you need money, you must work for it. Ṣèbí wà nínú Bíbélì tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń gbé lọ tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń gbé bọ̀ yẹn náà pé nínú ogún ojú ẹ ni wàá ti jẹ. Is it not there? So how do you think you can go and sow and then you reap bountifully? Where? Where? Ta ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀? And that's how people part with their money. They say a foolish person quickly part with their resources. Àṣàyè lọ dálẹ̀. A lọ fọ́lọ́run lówó. You're a foolish human being. You have to commit your resources, your money, into ventures that can return value back to you. Ẹlòmíà lọ ṣe MMM. Àṣàyè lọ kó yẹn síbi kan níbi tó ti gbọ́ high returns. When you see certain returns on investment, when it's higher, when it's so high, when it's double digit, má tẹ̀ jẹ́ so high, tó bá ti jẹ́ double digit, red flag in it. Because there is no investment that will pay higher than the prevalent interest rate in the economy tí wọ́n ti ń ṣe business yẹn. None. Wọ́n kàn sáré dé wá sọ fún yín pé you put kinní kan, you get 40% and stuff like that. Because many are financially dumb. They commit their hard-earned money into this, and it goes. All them are learning standard in it. So I don't want buy. No, ìwọ ló gọ̀. Ìwọ ló greedy because o rò pé that's how things work. No, it doesn't work that way. Look, gbogbo nǹkan circulate ni. So when some people say they have returns on their investment, àwọn kan wà níbì kan tó ń sunkún because wọ́n gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn kan fáwọn. It's when some people lose, some people gain. Arrow máa ń lọ sókè, ó máa ń lọ sísàlẹ̀. Go and look at those investment graphs and stuff like that. Gains, losses. In, out. Bí nǹkan ṣe ń rìn nìyẹn. So when you are smiling, know some people somewhere are crying. And the day you are crying, some people are smiling. That's the way it works. Kì í ṣe pé wọ́n kó nǹkan kan pamọ́ sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ lọ kó wá fún ẹ. The same owó ló ń circulate in the economy. So my better go get some financial knowledge, understand what money is all about, understand that money is debt, gbèsè ni. It's man-made. Tó bá pọ̀ jù ní economy, ìjọba máa kó gan, wọ́n máa burn ẹ̀. Or they have other means of withdrawing it from the economy and they tighten up economy and stuff. Tí o bá dẹ̀ tó náà, wọ́n mọ̀ bó ṣe ń inject it. So you have to learn all these things so that you don't keep losing your money easily. And quit spending your time on non-profitable things. Gbogbo program tó pé ní church ló ń lọ. Àárọ̀ Monday wà ń bẹ̀, Tuesday wà ń bẹ̀, Wednesday wà ń bẹ̀, Thursday wà ń bẹ̀, Saturday wà ń bẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ ṣí ṣọ́ọ̀bù. Ó dẹ̀ ń gbàdúrà nínú àwọn ìsọjí tó ń lọ yẹn wípé kí àwọn èèyàn wá kán wá ra nǹkan lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. And people that want to patronize you, they keep passing by your shop. Ó wà ní títì. Ó wà ní shop. Wọ́n á tún lọ, wọ́n á tún padà pé àbáyọ ti fẹ́ dé. Wọ́n ò rí ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ wà ń bẹ̀ tó ń pariwo. Ogun ọ̀run o, ẹ dìde, ẹ lànà, ẹ gbá láàánú wà, ọjà mi kó máa tà. Ó ń pariwo máwọn ogun ọ̀run bẹ́ẹ̀ bí pé àwọn ogun ọ̀run ló lé customer. Ṣùgbọ́n ìwọ ló ti shop. That's a waste of time. You should be where ti di iṣẹ́ ajé ẹ wá ibẹ̀ ló yẹ kó wà. And actually you can sit down in that your shop and offer your prayers there. Ibi tẹ́ congregate sí yẹn kọ́ lọ́lọ́run wà. Ọlọ́run wà nínú ṣọ́ọ̀bù yẹn náà, o lè gbàdúrà ń bẹ̀ without leaving. It's not until you go to somebody, congregate there, spend your whole time there before your prayers can be answered. That's a bloody waste of time. But táwọn yẹn bá dẹ̀ ti lọ bí ẹ̀ẹ̀mejì ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́ta tí wọ́n rí pé kò ṣí shop, then they go somewhere else. Ìgbà tó máa padà wá àti ẹ̀ta àwọn kan lénìí ẹ̀ tún lọ. Wọ́n máa gbà ó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ pé àfẹ́lẹ́ síbì, ẹ̀sùn ilé mẹ́nu ọ̀nà, ẹ̀sùn ẹ̀rí ilé ìmọ́lẹ̀, ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kankan mẹ́rin. They're just taking your money. Those things don't work. It's you that need to use your time wisely. It's you that need to know the right thing to do. Wọn kò jẹ́ kó rí ẹ pé. Ìwọ ni kò jẹ́ kí orí ẹ pé. Another thing is the habit we feed. Àwọn kan wà, wọ́n mutí kú dànù. Wọ́n ò ní mutí kẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá rí iye tí wọ́n fi ń mu ọtí, tẹ́ bá ṣí bọ́jẹ́ẹ̀tì ọtí wọn lóṣù. Wọ́n gbà pé nǹkan ti ṣe ẹ̀gbọ́n yìí o. Aṣọ ò pé méjì lọ́rùn ẹ̀. Wọ́n gbà ẹ̀gbọ́n ṣẹ́ẹ̀tì dẹ̀ wà ókè o. Alẹ́ lónìí 7,000. Ó ṣe yẹn kọ́rẹ́ǹsì ẹ̀ láyé ó ní ìgò ẹnẹsí. Ó ṣe yẹn ó ti gbé calculation, ó ti wò pé ẹnẹsí 7,000, ẹnẹsí méjì nìyẹn 335. Àkànbọ̀ màmá ra ṣẹ́ẹ̀tì ẹ̀ níta, eléyìí tí mo wọ̀ ẹ̀ ṣì wà òkè, eléyìí tí mo wọ̀ òkè ṣì wà òkè. Ọtí ni. When you ask him, ẹ̀gbọ́n ọtí tẹ̀ mú ti pọ̀ jù, why tẹ̀ mú títí báyìí? Ìgbà tí issue yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi, mo kàn try láti get over it, and this is another problem with people. Instead of facing their life's issues, they try to escape. So they escape by engaging in some vices, ọtí, igbó, drugs, ẹlòmíì a máa kóbìnrin, a máa ṣe ṣìnà, gbogbo nǹkan kan mẹ́rin pé kí n kàn fi take mind me off. These things will send you into penury. You will be poor. People who gamble, you will be poor. Haven't you heard stories of footballers who had successful careers, who were earning thousands of pounds every week, but who had gambling habits? Some of them, after they retired from football, had to sell their memorabilia, have to sell their jerseys, have to sell some of the things they've acquired while they are playing football to be able to feed. Kò sí nǹkan kan tán lè pọ́ǹtì sí nípa àwọn achieve nínú kárí àwọn. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ti bá gambling lọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lẹni tó bá ń ṣe ṣìnà. It's expensive. Top up, wig, èékánná, this, that. Gbogbo kìíní ẹ̀ wàá máa constantly wàá máa ná nǹkan ni. Tí wọ́n á dẹ̀ béèrè owó lé, wàá máa kanra. Because ojú ẹ wà ní ara ọmọ yẹn. Fòrò ẹ̀ lórí. Kò tí ì jẹ́ kó débẹ̀. So wò pé tó bá ṣe nǹkan ńlá fún, ó máa lè jẹ́ kó débẹ̀. O dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ọmọ wa gbá ẹ ni. Gbogbo àwọn Gen 5K yẹn, gbogbo àwọn top up yẹn. Owó tó ralẹ̀ wọ́n á fi ṣe bone straight. Orí ò dẹ̀ ro ẹni yẹn, orí ò máa wọ̀, ọrùn ò máa wọ̀. Owó ilẹ̀ lọ́ fi ra wig láì ṣe ń pò pariwo nírun lórí fa. Ẹ bá dẹ̀ rí irun ẹlòmíì, very beautiful. Báyọ̀ gẹ́ ni, báyọ̀ dí ni o, lovely. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣe láti dà kankan bù ṣá. Because they have low self-esteem. but wọn lè afford kìíní yẹn, so they have now to rely on some other people to cover those expenses. So ẹni tó ń wò ó pé kò ń náṣẹ́ ni wọ́n á gbé bùkátà lé lọ́wọ́. Before you know it, ẹ máa gbọ́ ẹ sà, èmi ò ní èmi tí ẹ mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe, tí bá ti gba owó yẹn kò tiẹ̀ ń pé 3 days gbogbo ẹ ti lọ. Ó dà pé wọ́n ta mí lọ́fà láti lé ni o, torí wọn ò fẹ́ ń gbérí, bàbá mi ò gbérí, èmi tí mo tún dìde díẹ̀ báyìí. Kò look inward láti wò ó pé ọ̀dọ̀ òun ni problem yẹn wà. He's looking somewhere else, blaming village people, blaming household enemy, blaming jealous friends and all kind of people like that. Only tí irú ẹni ẹ bá lè mú bírò àti ìwé kó wá jókòó kó draw ẹ. I've practicalized it for you on this show. The principle of finance, how money moves. Kó wá wo iye tó ń wọlé àtọ̀nà tó fi ń wọlé, kó dẹ̀ draw other side, kó wo iye tó ń jáde àtọ̀nà tó ń jáde. Tí n tó ń jáde bá ti pọ̀ ju n tó ń wọlé lọ, wàá ní problem. Wọn ò dẹ̀ ta ẹ́ lọ́fà láti ilé, wọn ò ṣe ẹ́ níbi. Ìwọ ni kó jókòó kó wo pé ọ̀nà wo làwọn owó yìí gbà lọ. And if you want to plug it, you just have to cancel out certain things. Mi ò ní o máa mutí. But must you drink every day? Mi ò ní o máa mutí. But must you finish ìgò Hennessy ní ìjókòó ẹ̀ kan? Òyìnbó tó ṣe gan òun mú bẹ́ẹ̀, òyìnbó kan máa ra tọ́ díẹ̀ sínú cup, á wá jókòó sórí rocking chair, á gbéwèé, á dẹ̀ á tan sìgá, á dẹ̀ ra máa light, á dẹ̀ ra máa jayé ẹ̀ lọ díẹ̀ ní, á dẹ̀ fi kàwé, á dẹ̀ fi relax títí tá a fi sùn, á dẹ̀ fi wọlé. No, ẹ̀yin máa mú 75 cl Hennessy tán lẹ́ẹ̀kan. No wonder 35 at 40 ẹ̀ ń gbégbá kiri pé kán donate kidney fún yín. No wonder aṣọ irun orí lẹ́wúlẹ́wú báyìí ti lora yín lòkulò, ti damage àgọ́ ara yín with the kind of habit you picked. Aṣọ ẹlòmíì iṣẹ́ tiẹ̀ báyìí gbogbo ẹ̀ ti dàbí lace, torí náà sìgá ti kán sí gbogbo ẹ̀ ti lu o. $20 a day, $25 a day ló mú. Sìgá dẹ̀ ti wọ́n gan báyìí. You know, máa mu sìgá tó bá fẹ́ mu sìgá. It could be social. Lọ tí bọ́jẹ̀tì sìgá bá ti ń bẹ drag bọ́jẹ̀tì owó ilé, ó ti lọ o. Tí bọ́jẹ̀tì tó fi mu tí bá ti ń bẹ drag owó ilé, ó ti lọ o. You will be poor. You have to look at some of the habits we feed, the vices we've gotten ourselves entangled with, and try to break this thing. If you have issues of life you're dealing with, face these issues. They have name. You can identify them. Somehow you work yourself into it. Find a way to work yourself out. Don't hide. Don't hide under substance abuse. Don't hide under alcohol. Don't hide under, those things don't take away those problems. They only mask them. It's only for a while. Once the effect of those things that you've been using to mask them wears off you, they stare back at you in the face. And that's why some people drink again. Before you know, they become alcoholic. If you live like this, you will be poor. Another point is keeping up with the Joneses. O fẹ́ wọn tẹ́lẹ̀ ìwọ, o fẹ́ lọ lédè tí wọ́n lọ, o fẹ́ gbé ayé tí wọ́n gbé, o fẹ́ gbélé tí wọ́n gbé, o fẹ́ gun mọ́tò tí wọ́n gun, and everything like that. Ṣé bó o ṣe mọ ẹlẹ́wà ṣàpọ́n? You have to live within your means. Ó mo ṣe sọ, o ní láti mọ ohun tó ń wọlé. Orí tó ń wọlé ló láti gbé life wẹ̀ lé lórí. Of course, that means your standard of living will not match the next person. Yes, bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn, because àwọn yẹn ò mọ bọ́n ṣe ń fund the lifetime wọn. So orí èèyàn kan tó lọ holiday Dubai, tó gun safari, tó lọ gbá tó lọ àwo, tó padà dé, tó ń ṣe gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó rà and everything like that, ìwọ náà sọ pé o máa lọ. Ó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ò lówó, ó wá lọ ṣá káàdì. Ó wá dé, ó wá ń sá kiri pé don't stop calling me again, I will pay when I will pay. No, àdéhùn kọ́ yẹn. Do you know how that person was able to afford the holiday? Do you know if somebody paid for it? Do you know báyà Dubai tán lọ yẹn gan wọ́n lọ jẹ̀gbẹ́ ń bẹ̀ ni? Tí ẹ pé ìgbẹ́ jíjẹ yẹn ló cover fún nǹkan tí wọ́n lọ gbogbo ayé tí wọ́n jẹ yẹn. Do you know if they won some free holiday trip and whatever thing like that from raffle? Do you know if they've been saving for that trip for like 4-5 years? You don't know all these things. You just want to copy them. You just want to. Ìwọ náà fẹ́ splash a picture. Ìwọ náà fẹ́ sọ pé ìwọ náà ti lọ bẹ̀yẹn and stuff like that. Wàá kóra ẹ sínú gbèsè. Dubai 2 weeks, 1 week lásán. Ó ṣe é san gbèsè ẹ̀ fún 5 years. Look, we do things in life for 2 reasons. For pleasure and to avoid pain. So when you are making decisions in life, you must always put every of your weigh your decisions on this scale of pain and pleasure. You have to be thorough with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to look at things critically before you take decisions, because everything comes with consequences. I fẹ́ lọ holiday Dubai 3 days. Kí wọ́n máa san gbèsè for the next 5 years ni. Mi bá ṣe gbèrò ẹ̀ nísìnyí, mo ti rí pé oh boy, pain yẹn outweigh pleasure. Of course, I enjoy myself there. I'll share picture and whatever thing like that. But oh boy, gbèsè rèé o, gbèsè rèé. Gbèsè rèé o, gbèsè rèé. So by the time I focus on the pain associated with that decision, naturally mi kàn ní lọ ni. Dubai ò kàn ní wù mí lọ ni. Mi kàn ní like Dubai ni. If I dey around tó ń share picture, tó ń share everything, you won't feel intimidated. Because reality ó ti wò wọ́ lójú pé oh boy, ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ ò gbé lọ́wọ́ yìí. And you won't feel intimidated, you feel satisfied. Wàá lọ later. After all, ẹ̀bẹ̀ kọ́ ni wọ́n sin placenta ẹ̀ sí. Gbà tó bá lọ ló lọ. Kí n Dubai wọn gan, is it not a desert? Wọ́n kàn ní àwọn leader torí wọ́n pé ni wọ́n dẹ̀ change everything. Gbogbo nǹkan tó wà níbẹ̀ is artificial. As at 1991, iyẹ̀pẹ̀ àti ràkúnmí ló wà níbi gbogbo ibi tẹ́ ń lọ yẹn. But they built it up. So kì í ṣe dandan kó lọ, kó wá kóra ẹ sí gbèsè ayérayé. If you need a car, ask yourself why you need one. For transportation, yes, to move from A to B, you can get yourself something that you can afford. But the moment you want to ride Mercedes, ride G-Wagon, ride Range Rover, that is not longer for transportation. That is to make statement. Luxury nìyẹn. And if you have good credit, you can walk into the dealership to pick one. Ṣùgbọ́n wàá máa san báyà bí 1.5 every month to keep driving that car. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní one satanic plan níta nísìn, mo ti gbàgbé orúkọ kìíní yẹn. After 3 years, you take the car back. Wọ́n wá sọ fún yín pé okay o, £80,000 ní value tó kù lórí mọ́tò yẹn ń sìn o. So if you want to keep that car, you need to make that 80,000 balloon payment. You've used that car for only 3 years, and within that 3 years, o kọ́kọ́ san initial deposit bá be 15k. Then for every month, o tún wá ń san 15 per month. So 15,000 pounds for more 15 every month over 3 years. Owó tó ti bọ́ sórí mọ́tò yẹn nìyẹn. Ìgbà tó wá gbé dọ́dọ̀ wọn wá sọ fún ẹ pé òkè o, àti value mọ́tò yẹn àti ìyẹ̀wò ṣe everything o, pẹ̀lú mileage tó gbé wá o àti condition ọkọ̀ yẹn o, the car is worth 80,000 pounds. If you want to keep this car, you have to make that balloon payment now. Otherwise, just put the key on the table and go. That's it. Ìwọ kọ́ ló lọ́kọ̀. Má dẹ̀ gbàgbé pé why you own that car, there are other expenses on it. Òun repo, àwọn ọkọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ they have large engine. Wọ́n mu epo bí ẹ̀mí burúkú tó máa ń mu ẹ̀jẹ̀ ni. You pay their road tax, you pay insurance. Wọ́n ṣe wọ́n síbẹ̀ náà ni premium ẹ̀ ṣe máa ga sí. So ọmọ ìtọ́ fi ń service Bentley tó ń lo 8 plugs, ọmọ ìtọ́ ń chain plug ẹyọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Àìmọye ọkọ̀ tó kún mechanic garage. Tó jẹ́ pé I'm telling you from experience, mo ń sọ fún ẹ. Wàá lọ sí wàá sọ fún ẹ pé ọ̀rẹ́ tó ní mọ́tò yẹn 250 lásán la ní kó mú wá o. Ẹni tó gbé Range Rover wá, ó sì fi ilẹ̀ ń bẹ̀, kò lè rí 250 san. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá rí wọn ní mọ́tò yẹn wá sọ pé bọ̀bọ́ yẹn ti make ẹ̀. Ó ní wọ orí tí wọ́n náà fi sọ pé o fẹ́ sáré wọ́n náà fẹ́ gunrú ẹ̀. Ó máa kàgbákò ni, wàá ní problem ni. So you have to learn to live within your means. Live within what you can afford. I've made mistakes in the past where, I live beyond my means. Ìgbà míì mo ní situational poverty that I have to, cover up and stuff like that. But ìgbà tí mo try láti come back even and gbogbo nǹkan kan mẹ́rin. Some of them I still have the loans on my neck up till this time. Tí ì ṣe pé loan mi but ìgbà ẹ̀gbọ́n nìyẹn. But I can't escape from their consequences. I can't escape. But I will never repeat those mistakes anymore. Kò sí nǹkan tí ń rà lénìí tí kì í jẹ́ cash. And what I can't cover up, I leave it until I afford it. I won't venture into cards anymore to cover anything I want to buy. No. Tí n bá ti lè kó owó ẹ̀ lẹ́ báyìí, mi ò lè afford ẹ̀ ni. I let it be. Kò gbèsè ò lè wá pa mí. I don't look at what other people have. I don't care. In tó wù mí ni mo fẹ́. And I'm in a position where I can afford what I want. Nǹkan tí n bá ti lè afford ẹ̀, ó ti di want. But I'm in a position to afford everything I need. So need wà, want wà. I can afford my needs. But tí n bá ti wo want, mo rí pé ò bọ̀ eléyìí bákan, màá gbójú ń bẹ̀. I move on. And this is what I'm passing down to my children. Because I want to break that poverty, that cycle of poverty. Mo fẹ́ fi gbogbo ọjọ́ ayé mi kí n fi san gbèsè kú. I don't aim láti ní gbogbo owó ilé ayé yìí. But my goal is not to have to worry about covering my basics. Having to worry back, my gym mo fẹ́ san nǹkan báyìí kan. I hate it. I just want everything just to be paid, to be sorted and everything like that. And that is how I built up my life. When I have to worry about, mama, I hate it. So I understand my relationship with money. I understand money perfectly is just to exchange value or to exchange service. I don't take money beyond that. Láti fi ra nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ or láti fi gba service tí mo fẹ́, and that's it. But when I have to worry nígbà tí mo wá fẹ́ fi ṣe nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ yẹn, I don't like it. So live within your means. Bó jẹ́ owó yàrá kan lowó ẹ ká, má lo fẹ́ gbé 4 bedroom because ilé yẹn lá máa gbé ẹ, ìwọ kọ́ ló ń gbé. I know many people who are living in big houses that for them to be able to retain the roof of that house over their head, àwọn gan yìí sùn bẹ́ẹ̀. They have to do iṣẹ́ mẹ́ta mẹ́rin, combine wicked lifestyle láti lè keep owó ibẹ̀ yẹn running. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ṣé kìí ṣe pé ká lè sunlé ni a ṣe ń gbalé ni? But ilé ọ̀hún ló lè sùn yìí náà. Tó bá máa fi padà dé gan, sitting room ló máa crash sí, ibẹ̀ ló máa sùn sí. O ò ní lè dé yàrá gan. Alarm tún ti jí ẹ láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì, ó tún ti lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn wò ẹ́ látọ̀ọ́kán, wọn ní ilé ẹ̀ tóbi, ilé ẹ̀ fine. Is that all that is about? Is that why you are killing yourself? So that with your life, with what you earn, you can comfortably live a fantastic and beautiful life in a 1 bedroom apartment. Why tó gbé yẹn? Ta ló ń bá compete láyé gan? Ta ni wá tí ẹ ti ṣẹra yín lọ́rùn, tẹ wá wáyé tẹjọ wá ń drag? Ta ni? Can't you live on your own lane? O fẹ́ ra ilé, wá sunkún sáwọn ogun ọ̀run lọ́rùn. O tí ì tó lé rà bíkọ́ ilé tó sunkún rà wá sunkún gbé ni. Ẹ ṣe farabalẹ̀. Èwo lẹkún? Lẹ́ ń wówó deposit mortgage. Lẹ́ ń sunkún sáwọn ogun ọ̀run lọ́rùn. The way táwọn èèyàn ṣe ń lo ogun ọ̀run gan, tó wáyé pé mo wà lára àwọn ogun ọ̀run gan, iṣẹ́ yẹn máa tough gan. Ó máa tough. Everything ogun ọ̀run. Kí ni? For what? Ayé ló wà now. Sort out yourself. The most important thing is you have a roof over your head. You have somewhere you can lay. O ní sun yàrá méjì lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà. O ní sun bẹ́ẹ̀dì méjì lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà. So kí ló fẹ́ para ẹ̀ fún? Àìmọye àwọn tó ti kọ́lé ńlá. Nígbà táwọn ọmọ wọn kúrò nílé, ó kù àwọn nìkan. They can't maintain the house. They can't clean the house. Wọ́n máa retí àwọn yẹn pé wọ́n ní fẹ́ǹsì ẹ̀kùlé ti wó. Ọmọ tóun náà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ láìfù títí ẹ̀, ó ní kó tún wá máa bá yín wó fẹ́ǹsì, kó máa bá yín, Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi làákàyè ṣe nǹkan. Another point is taking up too much financial burden that you can carry. Especially where you have a family where they depend so much on you. Àbí eléyìí wá tọ̀hún wá, eléyìí wá tọ̀hún wá, eléyìí wá tọ̀hún wá. You will burn out. You will kill yourself. So for example now, you have 100 pounds on you. Èèyàn kan wá gbé bùkátà 100 pounds wá. Ṣùgbọ́n ní 100 pounds yẹn, ìwọ ní bill of 80 pounds to pay. Làákàyè ẹ yẹ kó sọ fún ẹ wípé the maximum help you can render to that person is 20 pounds. Tó o bá ti ṣe ju ìrànlọ́wọ́ 20 pounds lọ fẹ́ nìyẹn, ìwọ gan ti dá láìní. You can't help people beyond the limit of your ability. You can only give what you have. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn onínúure ẹ̀dá kan wà tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa lọ ń bá èèyàn tó yáwó. Wọ́n á fira wọn di. Gbèsè tẹ́lòmíì san lé ní gbèsè tó ń dá sí lọ́rùn ni. Kì í ṣe gbèsè tó ń gan jẹ. Gbèsè tó fi ràn yàn kan lọ́wọ́ ló ń san lé ní. Kì í ṣe gbèsè tó ń gangan jẹ. So ìrànlọ́wọ́ tí ò sí ní káwọ́ ẹ̀ láti ṣe fún èèyàn, àárín ẹ̀ láti ran ẹni yẹn lọ́wọ́ ni. Let them go find help somewhere else. You don't have to please everyone. Oore tá a bá fẹ́ kó ṣe fún èèyàn, we would have given you the resources. Ó ti máa wà ní káwọ́ ẹ̀. Ní tí ò sí ní káwọ́ ẹ̀ láti ṣe fún èèyàn bí oore, then ìwọ kọ́ la ránṣẹ́ ẹni yẹn láti ṣe láàánú. Kó wá ràn lọ́wọ́ yẹn síwájú. So £100 ló ní, o ní bill £80. Èèyàn kan gbé ìrànlọ́wọ́ £100 wá sí ẹ lọ́wọ́. You should know that the maximum limit you can help that person is £20. Because you have to put yourself first and cover your own need first. O ní jẹ́ kẹ́ni ẹ kó sí ẹ lórí pé ẹ ṣàánú mi, kíní kan ló ń ṣe kíní kan fi emotional blackmail kan fi bayé ẹ jẹ́. Ọ̀kan fi sweet mouth sọ fún ẹ pé ẹ má worry, ṣebí Monday lẹ́ni dẹ̀ lálẹ́ Sunday báyìí mo máa dá padà fún yín. Because wọn ò ní dá padà. Ẹni tó wá yá nǹkan lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ kì í ṣe pé kò ní ló fi wá yá ni. Sóko ló ti fẹ́ rí. So the moment tó bá ti lọ kó £100 yẹn lẹ̀ tó fi ṣẹ́ ni ẹ láàánú. Ọláìtàlá ìwọ náà ti di aláìní o. Because tó bá di Monday, alẹ́ Sunday wàá pẹ́ ni ẹ kò ní gbé aago. Kò ní dá ẹ lóhùn. Tó bá send message tó bá ti dé sí kan, ìbínú ló máa fi dá padà fẹ́ pé kí lè yọ̀ ọ́ lẹ́nu fún. O máa fún ẹ tóun bá ti ní. People are like that, they are shameless. Bàtà àwọn èèyàn bá fẹ́ nǹkan ni wọ́n máa ń gentle. Tó bá ti gba kíní ẹ̀ tán, they are wild. They lose their morals. They are shameless. They have no honor. So tó bá dàárọ̀ Monday, ìwọ náà wá lọ gbégbá. Wàá máa tọrọ £100 kí nípò ní urgent bill láti sort out. Àwọn èèyàn á máa wò ẹ́ bíi pé ìwọ ló get ayé ẹ̀ together. Wọ́n á máa wò ẹ́ bíi pé ìwọ láyé ẹ̀ ò ní meaning. Wọ́n á máa wò pé ìwọ ló wà financially prudent. Ìwọ ló lè take responsibility ara ẹ̀. Mo yàgbẹ́ mi ìnùdí èèyàn mélòó ló fẹ́ sọ fún. Èèyàn mélòó ló fẹ́ ṣàlàyé fún wípé mo yáyàn lówó ni, mo fowó yẹn pamọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ gan ò ní dùn sọ lẹ́nu ẹ̀. Tìwọ náà ti wá wà nípò, you need the help. Wàá máa wá urgent £100 kiri láti fi £80 láti fi lè san bill yẹn. Meanwhile, you prepared yourself. You were sensible with your spending on whatever thing. But you will take responsibility tí o prepare fún ni. So, on this platform, we've talked about the principle of important versus urgent. You only do what is important. Never do what is urgent. Urgent are distractions. Urgent are when you allow the important stuff to overrun their deadline, and they become things that you have to quickly get on to do, and thereby leaving the important stuff. Important things are the things that lead you to your objective, to your goals, that add value to you. Another way you can have urgent stuff is when other people bring their own burdens to you to help them solve. Nítorí bá nípa ni kò ṣe o. Ẹran tó ló ń gbẹ̀yìn náwó. Kò sí nǹkan tó ṣe fún èèyàn láyé yìí. Ní tó máa gbẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ náà ni pé kí wá ni, kí ló ṣe náà? Kí ló ṣe téèyàn kan ò ṣe rí? So don't kill yourself because you want to please other people. Don't run yourself into debt because you want to please other people. Don't become poor because you want to help other people. I'm not saying don't help people. I'm saying do it to the limit of your resources. After you have taken care of yourself. Má fi tiẹ̀ lẹ̀ máa lọ gbọ́ tẹni lẹ́nu. Love yourself. Love others as you love yourself. Bíbélì sọ. So you must first of all love yourself. You must first of all take care of yourself before you can think of taking care of other people. Ìrọ̀rùn gini ìrọ̀rùn ẹyẹ o. Ẹni tó máa gbé èèyàn pọ̀n ẹsẹ̀ gan gbọ́dọ̀ dúró ńlẹ̀ dáadáa. And then another point is poor mindset. This is where Irelu's comment comes into place. I'm trying to find the comment where she said psychological poverty is worse than physical poverty. When a man is poor in his mind, he may live all his life in penury. But she has covered it. Poor mindset will keep you poor in life. Wàá lọ máa gba ìmọ̀ràn lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí ò ní íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì ńlé. Ìwọ̀npáyé ẹ ti ń dorí kodò already. Ẹni tí ò ríran rí ayé níbi tó ti já lu ara wọn, òun ló ń fún ẹ láàdváìsì. Ẹni tó ń rí black and white ló ń fún ẹ láàdváìsì. Nígbà tí ayé ti ń rí in 4 dimensions, àwọn sì wà in black and white. Àwọn yẹn ló ń gbàmọ̀ràn lọ́wọ́ wọn. Ọkàn ẹ sì dúdú. You still hold on to the mundane and old teachings that were poured into you. Wà àwọn tó fi ìmọ̀ yẹn gbé ayé ṣáájú ẹ, tí ó add anything to their life. Níbo láyé wọn gúnlẹ̀ sí? Shouldn't that tell you something that look, kíní yóò ní kò dà kíní yóò make sense jàre. Then one to make sense. No, ìwọ náà gbà ní ìgbàgbọ́ àwọn baba ńlá wa. Wọ́n ṣe ń gbà yẹn náà nìyẹn. But wọ́n ṣe ń gbà yẹn bó lọ parí sí. Débi tán parí sí wọn náà máa parí sí. Èpè kọ́. That's just the way it is. Look around you. Everything you see is the power of the thought. That's where everything starts from. The mind. So when you look at something and you say, irọ́, àwa kọ́ lọ ṣe fún wa, irọ́, Ọlọ́run má jẹ́, kí n lọ fàdúró owó yẹn ṣe kankan. Then that thing will elude you because what you've done is you've shut your mind. And somebody else, somebody like you, tó lórí kan ojú méjì, ọwọ́ méjì, ẹsẹ̀ méjì, like you, will look at that same situation and say, okay. Yeah, realistically, this is, way out of my budget now. But how can I afford this? The moment you ask that question, you set your mind at work. Orí àwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa ṣiṣẹ́, a máa wá possibilities. Ìgbà yẹn wàá rí pé, okay. Tí bá máa pé lágbájá, okay, tí bá sọ wípé kíní tí mo fún ọ̀fà ẹ̀ ní 10% nínú ilé gbogbo nǹkan mẹ́rin, kíní sì máa bọ́ sọ́wọ́ mi rí nídìí. Wàá kàn rí pé you can afford that thing. In tó fẹ́ fi ṣe lè má wá sí lápò ẹ̀ wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn kan. But because we shut mind here down, we are able to think of possibilities. Gbogbo àwọn tẹ́rí tó gbé nǹkan ṣe, do you think they have the resources within their reach when they did it? Do you think they have the resources with them when they did it? No, wọ́n ronú ni. Wọ́n ò wò pé pọ̀ ju àwọn lọ, wọ́n ò wò pé àwọn ò lè ṣe, wọ́n ò rò pé kò tọ́ sáwọn. They were realistic with their present situation, but they never gave up. They never closed their mind. They thought of possibilities. How can I afford this? How can I do this? How can I get this done? And the moment you set your mind at work like that, wàá rí pé ó ṣeé ṣe. Wàá rí pé ó lè afford kíní yẹn. Wàá rí pé ó lè ní kíní yẹn. Because àwọn tó ń ṣe, àwọn tó ní, àwọn tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, wọ́n yàtọ̀ sí ẹ̀. Kí ló dé tó ń rora ẹ̀ pin? Kí ló tó jẹ́ pé all the time you refer to your background. Background ẹ lè má dáa. Èèyàn kankan lè má tilẹ̀ yín jáde tó wà okay. Stop going back to that background. Think of you now and what you carry. And always think of possibilities ahead of you. Stop letting where you come from limit you. You don't have to refer to that. I'm not saying ignore it. No, you can't ignore it because it's part of your story. But don't let that determine what you can or cannot do. Don't let that limit you in life. You have to be rich in your mindset. When you are poor in mind, like there, you are poor physically. You are poor physically. Think big. Only if you aim for the ṣé star lọ máa ń sọ, and if you can't reach it you reach the moon. Ara ẹ̀ náà ni báyà the other side ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá mọ òwe yẹn á ti yé yín. So don't limit yourself. Àṣà ni ẹ̀, kí ló tó ń bá àwọn adìyẹ rìn lẹ̀lẹ̀? The only time you will see a chicken fly is a flight in fright. Tádìyẹ bá ń try láti escape danger, ìgbà yẹn nìkan ló máa rí kó fò. Gbogbo ìgbà yòókù ó ń tanlẹ̀ jẹ́ ńlẹ̀lẹ̀ ni. A ò dá ẹyẹ láti wà ńlẹ̀, kì í ṣèpín ẹyẹ láti máa fẹsẹ̀ tanlẹ̀. Ẹyẹ ń fò lójú ọ̀run ni. So what circle do you hang out with? People who have given up in life, people who think they can't achieve anything, people who think they can't amount to anything. Ẹ wá máa keep gbogbo àwọn kọ́lọ́run ṣàánú wá ń lù ní àti ẹ̀mọ́ bíi tá à ń bàjá. You keep yourself in the circle of people like that, ẹ máa wá àánú kiri náà ni. Nígbà táwọn kan ń gbé nǹkan ṣe, the same system lẹ́jọ́ wà, the same economy lẹ́jọ́ wà. You have to mind your association, you have to mind your circle. You have to raise your thought to drag yourself out of poverty. And the other one is resistance to change. Some people are so stubborn. In fact, me ti fẹ́ pè stubborn gan. They are scared. Because mo ti rí pé kì í ṣe stubborn náà. They try to act in pé àwọn stubborn, pé àwọn strong ni. Mo ti rí pé ẹ̀rù ni. They are scared of facing or confronting their illusions. Gbogbo nǹkan tó gbàgbọ́ òfo ni. But they are scared of dismantling it. Because they are scared of not holding on to anything. So they resist. Ṣé báyìí consider báyìí irọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n máa takú ni. Ẹ wá lẹ̀ ní poor, ẹ máa poor náà. You must learn to adapt. Okay, ìgbà dá fún ẹ tẹ́lẹ̀, ògbélé ńlá, onímọ́tò, onígbà, òṣè everything. Nǹkan wá dágún. You don't want to adapt, you don't want to change your current situation. You still want to live that life. O ṣe fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn máa rí ẹ látọ̀ọ́kán pé everything dán fún ẹ. A ti ń gbọ́ pé mi wà ní mọ́tò mọ́. A ti ń gbọ́ pé mo kúrò nílé ẹ̀ mo wá kó sí ilé kékeré. Òun ló sọ ẹlòmíì tí a kú ṣe lónìí. You have to understand that life is in seasons. We pray for things to be good, but tó bá dagun náà, you have to learn to adapt. You have to learn to adapt. The season tó bá wà ò bá gbà kó own a car, there's no point keeping it. Sell it. Kí ìnáwó yẹn kúrò nínú bó ṣe ń gbé ayé. Kó fowó tó fi ń ràn mọ́tò yẹn kó lè fi jẹun. Ilé yẹn bá tóbi jù tẹ́lẹ̀ afford ẹ̀ mọ́. Ẹ downsize. kẹ́ kó sì tẹ́lẹ̀ afford. Ìgbà míì á tún padà wá tí nǹkan á tún dáa fún ẹ. You'll be able to go back to how you used to live. Adaptability ló láyé o. You must not resist change. You must be flexible and just roll with times and tide. Ìgbà ní it will come and go. Má torí pé o fẹ́ kọ́ ṣe máa fojú pé Mr. Lágbájá tó head kinní kan wò ẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n máa gbé ayé yẹn. O head nǹkan kan mọ́ my brother. Head nǹkan kan mọ́ sà. Gba owó ti tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ mọ́. If you need to withdraw your kids from that school, withdraw them. There's no point keeping them there. You can't pay the fees all the time. Ìpààyàn. Wàá ní ẹ develop high blood pressure. Ẹ wà máa sá. Ẹ ní lè gbé àwọn ẹ dé school mọ́. Ẹ já wọn sí jìnnàjìnnà ẹnìkan lọ. Tó bá débẹ̀ kan bẹ gate man láti wọlé. Ẹ máa gbé àwọn ayé rádaràda bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Withdraw them. Let these kids learn in life that you only live within your means. When daddy was the head of this, he could afford this school. Now he's not the head of anything anymore. He's lost his job. We need to change your school to what he can afford. That's how to live life. Don't care about what people will say. Who cares? They will say something regardless. Ní lọ́ ti ń sọ ni. Ìwọ ni kó jẹ́ kí ayé ẹ kó yí ẹ bó ṣe ń gbé ayé. Ó dá wáyé ni o dẹ̀ máa dá lọ nìyà. It's your story, is your script. Live it. Play your best part. Put up your best performance and display. And when it's time for you to draw the curtain gallantly and leave. Ọmọ tó fogún lẹ̀ fún má fi gbèsè lẹ̀ fún wọn. And you don't even have to worry about leaving anything for your kids if they are well instructed. The faith of the well instructed is better than the faith of the rich. Ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ̀ fogún lẹ̀ fún, ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ̀ kọ́ lẹ̀ fogún lẹ̀ fún, òwúlò àrùn. Ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ̀ dẹ̀ kọ́ tẹ́ ẹ̀ fi nǹkan kan lẹ̀ fún, ó máa ní ju nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ ní lọ. And lastly, poor financial knowledge. Many of you need to learn how finance works. You need to get yourself educated. How to use money. How to earn money. O fẹ́ ṣòwò. Look, if you say you're an entrepreneur, if you don't know how to raise assets, if you don't know how to raise capital, and you don't know how to create asset from that capital, you have no business being an entrepreneur. Because nǹkan méjì tó ń jẹ́ entrepreneurship. A kì í fowó ara ẹni ṣòwò. Owó olówó la fi ń ṣòwò. You must know how to raise capital. And from running the business, from the gain you get, you must know how to turn those gains into asset for you. That's all. You can't do that, please go and get employed. And when you are getting employed, understand that you are selling your time. So sell your time for what it is worth. Má kàn gbaṣẹ́ òṣì kan. Sell it for what it's worth. And forget about entrepreneurship or business or whatever, because oh, what it's all about. So you need to learn about finances. Know how money works. Know how money moves. Know where to commit your resources. Know what not to do with it. Get better educated when it comes to financial knowledge. Learn how to save. Learn how to invest. Otherwise, you can't break the cycle of poverty. That is all I have for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's exactly 2 hours now. that I have been talking, and I think I've covered as much as time permits me tonight. I hope you are able to gain something from my nonsense tonight. I appreciate all those who contributed. I think àwọn èèyàn kan wọlé over time. Yeah, my sister, I greet you. Olamide Ogunloluniyi Adejola. Thank you very much for joining me tonight and for your contributions. I see you've been very busy on the platform. Avarice and extravagance is their logo. Yeah, I know you're referring to our ọmọ orí ìlà yẹn. Yes, yeah, very, very correct. Yay! My senior colleague, Mokiyima Atinuke Okunade, Ekale Shawa Dada, ó tójọ́ mẹ́ta o. Yeah, I know you're busy, but once in a while, táyé bá ti yọ, I know you always turn up. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I wish you happy birthday. Mi bá kọrin fún yín ṣùgbọ́n ohùn mi ti lẹ̀pọ̀ báyìí. So ẹ bá mi fi kéèkì birthday náà ránṣẹ́ o. Thank you very much for joining me. Um, Ramon needs to hear this sermon Gio. Ó ti pẹ́, ó ti late. Ó ti late. Ó ti late. Kò need mọ́. You know, they said Ramon Jantra's inside life are top notch. One of the best toilet washer. No. Oh my show. Oh my show. Inability to manage time is a destiny killer. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni Orelu, it is. It is. You must understand that the importance of time and how to use it to deliver value to you. Time láti lò ń bí báyìí. I might not get paid for this. Not I might. I'm not getting paid for this. But I enjoy that I'm able to impact life. So I don't mind. I should be where I'm getting money. I should be doing things that is paying me. But I don't consider this um, ahead of what I should be earning. I take this as my contribution to changing lives, to impacting lives. And the universe will have a way of rewarding me. So, ẹ̀yin ni kí n mọ̀ wípé tẹ fi time yín náà lẹ̀ o, ẹ rí value ńbẹ̀. So, it's important that you commit your time only to things that delivers value to you. Evangelist says even church tickets are free. Kò free. Wọ́n ta sticker fún yín kẹ́ lẹ̀ mọ́ mọ́tò, kẹ́ lẹ̀ mọ́ ẹnu ọ̀nà ilé. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn kó security tó kó AK-47 dání ló ń tẹ̀lé wọn káàkiri. Ṣé ẹ̀ ṣe làákàyè? Ẹ ṣe làákàyè ni. Wọ́n fún yín lánàá tí wọ́n kẹ́ fi anoint táyà mọ́tò. If your tires are not good, wàá ní accident tó bá dòró sí jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. If you don't drive safely, wàá ní accident tó bá dòró sí jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. If you drive in a tired state of mind, wàá ní accident tó bá dòró sí táyà jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. You know? So, doctor says he won't go alone. Olóṣó máa accompany. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, wọ́n bá travel wọn ní lọ lásán, wọ́n tún máa gbé handbag dání náà. Ìyẹn náà á cost wọn lówó. Bó ṣe yẹ pé ìyẹn ò ní hàn ní gbogbo picture tí wọ́n bá ń yà náà. Ẹ wá ní owó máa kù lọ́wọ́ wọn. Owó ò lè kù lọ́wọ́ wọn náà. Owó ò lè kù lọ́wọ́ wọn rárá. My sister, àwọn èèyàn rèé, tán bá rẹ́rìn bá dẹ̀ dàbí ìgbà tí Ọlọ́run tàn mọ́lẹ̀. My sister Folashade M. Alabi. Thank you very much for joining tonight. This blessed me. Thank you for that lovely comment. Thank you very much. My senior colleague said, thank you so much. I pray that a source of wisdom shall not run. You have been blessed again tonight from me. Thank you very much. These comments are good. I appreciate them. Thank you very much. Mr. Mickey said, what you have done today, what Jesus refer to as giving, and there's happiness in it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for appreciating my little contribution. I think I've been able to cover as much as I can, and also picked up interesting comment on the platform. Right. I think I need to leave you at this time to let you catch some sleep and start your weekend. Some people have to get up so early to do shopping and maybe do some tidying up and stuff like that. So, thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's a pleasure to have you. Until we meet again next week, Friday, for another important discussion. We might likely continue with the, um, you know, breaking cycle series. I'll see another cycle that we need to break, and we will um, break it up. Yes, my brother, I would like to hear it. You know, please. Um, a lè ríra ní ẹ̀yìn ètò, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow will be preferable because um, àwa ti ń wọ òru báyìí, orí mi dẹ̀ ti fẹ́ pause. But yes, I would like to hear the story. Yes, definitely, because mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ tún gbé mi wọnú kọ̀rọ̀ ayé yẹn. Mo mọ̀ pé kọ̀rọ̀ ayé pọ̀. Ẹ tún gbé mi wọnú yẹn náà kí n wo bó ṣe ń lọ. Yes, thank you very much for those who stayed till the end of this program. Um, I'm really, really impressed with your patience and your level of support. Um, really finish our too. Thank you, and God bless you. Udaro.
Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò mà ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ká ṣe bí ẹni kú, káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrú ẹni. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn, tẹrú tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni. Ọmọ aráyé abániwọ̀rọ̀ pa òrí dání wọ́n. Ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀, orí ẹni ní pé kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Òjò láyé ó gbé ní lọ, bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe lọ́la ọ̀tọ̀ láì bá dé, stress of ìdákùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Kíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò mà ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣẹ̀rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwọn ọlọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rínú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní ìdàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù o, kò já àríkùn má ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lówó, ọ̀yàn ń lo wà lọ́jọ́ ogún dé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá, wọ́n kì í lọ tẹ̀jẹ̀. Alámọ̀ a ò mọ̀nú, ẹni ayé yẹ kó rọra ṣe. Ṣọ́ra, ṣọ́ra. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. fà á. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Síbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé ti kanjú. Kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ilẹ̀kùn bá jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ́. Àwọn ẹni tó fẹ́ ní. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi tó ń bá lábẹ́lẹ̀ ayé. Àgbà tó ti ṣe tó ọ̀la yòókù lọ́gbọ́n. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ́. Àwọn ẹni tó fẹ́ ní.